everybody, welcome back to the Nocturnal Gaming Network. My name is Xeriua, and today we are once again playing Spaceflight Simulator. We are going to continue, again, actually, with our space station. And today we are going to be launching a hallway. I know, it's so wonderfully, interesting here. Basically, this hallway is going to be how we connect the shuttle, connect the living modules to the rest of the hab area, where we've got, all of our random stuff just going together. So, we need a docking module. We actually need a couple of them, right? We're going to put... Let's just put 3, 4, 5. Yeah, let's put 6 of them just in a pile. That's good enough, and we can do that. And we're going to build out the hallway now. So we're going to use a 20-ton, and then we're going to go to big parts, and we're going to put one of these to flare it up a little bit. Not that one. How about that one? Yeah, that way there's a little more space where we're actually going to be docking these together. And then I'm going to flare it back down. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create an escape pod, just an emergency type escape pod, and we're going to use one of these things, one of the crew modules, and we're going to put a couple RCS thrusters on it. Bam, and a parachute. Now, this is in case of emergency. Right? I feel like we can fit 10 astronauts in one of these things. I know it says 1 small capsule carrying 1 astronaut, but I'm going to say we can fit 10, 15, 20 astronauts in times of emergency. They just hold their breath as long as they can, and it'll be fine. And we're going to put the docking ports on here. So basically, what's going to happen is we're going to need 2 of these. I'm only going to show the launch for 1, but they're going to connect into that node we placed a couple episodes again on this top side. And then we're going to put the 2 hab modules on this side, and then we're going to have 1 hab module, or 1 module here. Let's say maybe it's a laboratory this time. And then we're going to put another hallway off of this one so we can continue the ring around, right? Now, it's time to begin to close up our fairing here. There's really nothing that special about this fairing. It's just, normal, not particularly interesting, as fairings often aren't. But we can just close it up, just like this. Bam. And there we are. So, we have a 101-ton module, and I'm going to use a smaller craft this time, because we don't really need all these big, monstrous rockets. We're just gonna use this, put a couple little thrusters on it. We do have the RCS thrusters from the escape pod that we'll be able to use, so we do have 3 sets of them on there. But this load is not balanced. Actually, you know what I should do? I should continue my fairing down, because I believe in all my other episodes I've been covering up this secondary or third stage, depending on which particular launch we're talking about, with fairings also. So we'll do this, and now you guessed it, it's time for a 3-tiered rocket body. And we should probably grab our aerodynamic pieces and do this, because we're going to need them eventually. We might as well put them on there right now. Go back to our basic 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. There we go. Wrong engine. We want the Hawk engines. Perfect. So we're at a thrust to weight of 1.27, right? And basically, these Hawk engines have a thrust of 115. So that's actually pretty close to the limit of these ones, right? So we also have a small engine stage over there. So I actually am going to end up putting some boosters on this one this time. I think if we were really, really careful, we could actually get this thing to launch just like this without the extra boosters. But you know, I'm not gonna mess around with it and find out, oh no, I guess we can't. I'm just gonna put some boosters on it, call it good, and we're gonna launch. So here we are. Alright. And we need to do this, and then get ourselves a thumbnail. Right here. Perfect thumbnail. I feel like this one looks really, really close to another rocket we've done. Because it probably does. There we are. And now we can launch. And where's the station? The station's over there? Yeah, close enough. Hey, it's actually lining up with our satellite. That's cool. We're going to set it as a target. And we're going to go back to the map, and we're going to launch. All of our thrusters are running. That was really loud. Alright, and we can follow. I mean, this is, from this point, basically just a nice standard launch. Nothing too special about it. Just go up. We're going to go up a little higher before we start turning on this one. And now we can start turning over. We went up to about 500 meters, by the way, in case you weren't specifically watching. And now we can just turn. And literally, I'm just going to sit here and tap the turn button. It's nice and easy. There's nothing going on. Alright. 6. So we are at about 60 degrees. We're doing the gravity turn nice and accurately this time. We're not cheesing it. Alright. And well, that's basically all there is to talk about with this launch. The problem with, showing all these launches is, eventually you run out of things to say, but, well, I don't want to skip the launch and then have someone watch this as their only video, and then they're like, oh, I have no idea what happened. Right? That wouldn't be good. So we're going to turn ourselves radial in, so we're actually adding almost all of the speed directly to our sideways, to our rotational orbit, right? And, we're just gonna wait here. Nothing really special. And we're going to want to make sure that we don't actually hit orbit this time. We want to make sure we keep the fairings heading towards the planet, because the last time I separated with a little bit too much speed behind me. There we go. And the fairings actually didn't end up re-entering because, yeah, of course they didn't. So what we're going to do is we're going to funnel fuel into this thing like we did in the previous one, just to be able to get a little more life out of these engines. I think that we actually might have enough fuel to get this thing where we need it to go. I mean, maybe not. I can actually unselect this and we can see how long it takes the fuel to run out. But, yeah, we should be good. Because we're just going to burn right up to the 250 meter-kilometer apoaps. Ooh, we might not have actually had enough. That would have been great. Telling everyone we have enough, but we don't unless you funnel fuel from one place to the other. It is slightly slow, because this... I believe this module is actually twice the capacity of these engines, twice the thrust capacity. Yeah, we don't have enough. So we would have needed actually needed the 20-ton fuel module on this one if we wanted to have enough fuel in the main stage here, in the transfer stage, but we don't really care about that. We just care that it is in the right place. Oh, look at that. That's going to be a pretty close approach. No, it's not. I lied. It's not bad though. Go right to the 250 like we've been doing recently. That's pretty close. What we're going to do is we're going to turn around and we're going to use our RCS thrusters just to adjust that. So here we are. Right there. Now we're directly at 250. We can turn our RCS thrusters off again because we don't really need them. Turn our throttle off so we can throttle up, and then we'll go around. And I think if we went fully around, we'd actually catch up pretty good with this thing. Yeah, look at that. Now it's time to actually change our closest approach marker here. So the closest approach is still on the other side. Let's go around again. Yeah, I knew it. I knew it was too far. Alright. We can do one more time and we shouldn't overtake it. Oh, I lied. We did overtake it. Alright. One more. This one'll be close. There we are. See how close we are? First try. Yeah. Now we're just going to raise our periaps. Oh, we're in the wrong place to do that. Let's turn radial out so we're not raising our apoaps a ridiculous amount. Something like this. Okay, and now we should be able to go around here. Alright, I give up on this one. What we're gonna do it the old-fashioned way. We're gonna use our thrusters here to raise our apoaps to a little bit higher than it should be. Then we're going to go to the apoaps right here at apoaps, and we're going to burn and raise our periaps to just about the right place. So something like this. Right? And there we are. Now we can go around a couple times and it'll catch up to us and we'll be a lot closer because apparently I can't dock today. Or rendezvous is, I'm going to be docking with this thing. That's the easy part. It's actually getting an encounter with it that's the hard part. Let's go around one more time. That should be good. Yeah. See? We're so close to it, it's almost like I know what I'm doing here. Now, where is it? It's right there. We can just burn right towards it. Something like this. There we go. I was worried that we were going to be pointing too close to it, so we would have to worry about running into it, but nah, we're good. We use our RCS thrusters to get it heading down towards us. We can slow our sideways momentum just a little bit, so like this. Bam. Alright. Off we go. We are aiming for the primary docking port on the station now, remember. Oop, did I go a little too far backwards? I did. So let's do that. Here we go. Primary docking port is going to be achieved. Just nice and gently lower our speed relative to the module. There we are. Something just like this. Oh, alright. we got it. So now we're going to grab this little thing and connect up, right? So let's separate. Bam. Okay. Apparently we need to like rotate or something here, so it's not going to redock with us. There we go. Switch to this. There we are. We need to turn the RCS thrusters back on. We need to head over this way. Where am I? I am going to attach this to the right place. That would that would be so funny if I attach. Well, it really wouldn't, but it would make me laugh, and then I'd scream and yell, and I'd start over again. So we are attaching this right to here. Perfect. So now we can go back down here and separate. Boom. It didn't leave me attached to this module. I don't know why. There we go. Get our RCS going. And now we just need to separate, not separate, but attach to the other docking port. Bam, there it is. Next we are going to transfer some fuel. So, from this module, 73, just into here, and we're going to leave this thing about 10% fuel, just so we have plenty to deorbit it. Bam, there it is, 9% fuel, that's probably good. Let's turn RCS off, rotate ourselves retrograde, and just double check what we're doing here. So, bam, there it is. And we actually do have plenty of fuel. I remember I left one of these little things stranded because I gave it like 4% fuel and then it, couldn't make it home. So yeah, we just want to make sure that we're not doing that. Now, we have this gargantuan module. What we're going to do is separate it. Please. Okay, there it is. RCS thruster time. And now we need to maneuver it around the station. We probably want to get it into the correct orientation while we're going, so we don't actually have to wait on it. Something like this. And remember, it is off-center, it is unstable, so you're going to rotate a little bit as you go left, right, or up or down, depending on which orientation this thing's in, so don't worry too much about having the perfect angle, like right off. Just, get yourself somewhat in the right area. Make sure you don't hit the solar panels also. That'd be embarrassing. I'm definitely not going to do that. I've definitely never done that. Okay. So here we are. Just a teeny tiny wait. And I'm going to do the same thing with this other side off screen, off camera, because, no one really wants to see the same launch multiple times. It's just not interesting, even less interesting than, other things. So here we are. We're going in the right direction now. We just need a little tiny bit more. Now, the final portion of this is actually going to have to be done by the module itself, because there isn't enough fuel in, what am I saying here? There isn't enough room, enough space to actually make this work. So, we're going to transfer fuel from this little module into the tank here. Make sure nothing's going to smash into each other. I don't think it is. Alright, so 10% fuel is what we're aiming for. 11%, probably a little too much. 12, 9, 9's probably good. So we're going to separate this thing, and ooh, it let me control this. rather than that other module that's just going to float away now. So we are just going to use the RCS thrusters on this thing to line ourselves up. It's going to be a very tedious process because there is not very much thrust in this when compared to the size and mass of the module. So just be patient, be calm, make tiny adjustments, and don't use time warp. Like, just don't do it. It's a bad idea. Especially when you've got something like this and it's this close to a gigantic station. So we just need to wait a second here, and pretty quickly we will find ourselves able to dock. It's right about like this. I was even able to keep my rotation pretty close while I did this. Bam! Alright. So, finally, where'd that module go? It's floating away into space. We want to grab it really quick and switch to it, and then we want to deorbit it before I completely forget about it and lose it out here. So, rotate ourselves retrograde. That's pretty close. Bam, there we are. Plenty of fuel to deorbit ourselves. And now we can just switch back to the station. Alright, so what I want to demonstrate now is the escape pod. So what we're going to do is we're going to save episode 41. No, this is episode 42. So I'm going to save, and that way after I've saved I can jettison the escape pod here and we can see it falling back to space, back to home. So boom, shoot it off. Now it's gonna fly around somewhere, doesn't specifically matter where. It shouldn't have enough mass to actually cause any damage to anything, even if it hits the solar panels, but it just floats there. And there we go. We can just sort of use the RCS thrusters, and if I had been smart, I would have fully fueled this thing, but it doesn't take much fuel for us to deorbit it, so we're just gonna, use the RCS thrusters to deorbit this thing. And it's gonna take a little bit, but like I said, the fuel is not the issue. The issue is just the general, time it takes for this to do. We're going to go and we're going to get it to like 25 kilometers because that's probably a really good place to be when you want to do a nice slow deceleration for some sort of landing pod like this. So right about here, that's pretty good. 24 kilometers. Perfect. So we're just going to accelerate some time now. And we're going to see what happens. There's both of our ships crashing down. And once we hit 25, it'll cut us off. We want to turn ourselves, don't need the RCS, we want to turn ourselves retrograde if we can. No, I think it's too late. We've already been hit. We've already found ourselves in the atmosphere, in the thicker atmosphere, so it's not going to let us turn retrograde just yet. But we're going to very quickly decelerate ourselves here. We're losing speed. There we go. Just sort of rotate. Ooh, I did manage to get our... Oh, no, I didn't. I thought I could do it, but now we're just tumbling. Hope these astronauts have barf bags. We also might need to go around a second time here, but that's okay. It doesn't matter too much. Ooh, tumbling like this. I'm sure they're going to puke. Once we hit we hit 25, we're going to go around again. There we go. Now we're back at 25. Imagine that. Just like magic, we can try and turn ourselves around again to see if we can get the flat side of our ship facing retrograde. Something like this actually should be pretty good. See how fast we're losing speed here? That's perfect. Come on. We can do this. I'm not going to make them sick again. Or at least I'm gonna try not to. Oh, they might be sick again. Come on, you can do it. Get control. Well, we're all the way in the atmosphere now, so that's good at least. We want to continue to slow ourselves down, so we're going to just continue spinning, I guess, because spinning seems like the best way of doing this. And, oh, we actually do have contact with the planet now. Like, we are going to smash into it and explode if we're not careful. This also means that we are going to be in the thicker atmosphere soon, so we should start seeing a more drastic slowdown coming up in the next, 30 seconds or so. I really need to stop this thing spinning. Oh dear. I'm so sorry, guys. I tried. It's out of control. Yeah. It's okay. We can do it. We have the technology. Maybe if let's see if I can use some RCS to slow ourselves down. I feel like that's making it worse. It is making it worse too. Oh no. Oh no, this might be an accident waiting to happen. RCS is off. Okay. Yeah. How was your day today? This thing doesn't stop spinning, we're going to have a nice sticky end to these astronauts. But like I said, we're down in the thicker atmosphere, so we are actually slowing down much more drastically. Once we get below like 500 meters per second, I think our RCS should be able to stop us. So probably something like this. Oh dear. I feel like it's still just getting worse. Not how I envisioned this going. Alright, so we're just going to see if we can hit the parachute now, because we're getting close to the cutoff for the parachute. Come on, you can do it. There's the parachute. Right. I am not sure how this is going to work for us. Oh, I think now we're finally starting to slow down. Yeah, there it is. Okay. We seem to have broken the parachute, though. I don't think that's how parachutes work. Look at it, it's just upside down. It's like, I have no idea what's going on. Alright, so we've definitely broken the parachute. I sort of want a time warp so we don't have to just sit here and wait through this, but we're coming down at a pretty good rate, and time warping when you've got a craft under parachute power is always a recipe for disaster. So, yeah, we're just gonna wait. Maybe I can use my downward RCS thrusters to speed myself up a little bit. That'll be good. Let's do that. Let's use the remainder of our fuel to speed up towards the ground. This is a mess on so many levels, guys. Just complete disaster waiting to happen. Oh dear. I have so much fun with this game, and maybe it's a bad thing that I'm having this much fun with just like a random little game like this, but, you know, what can you do? Now, the question is, what's going to happen when the parachute hits the ground, right? Because there's the full deployment. We're still at 3 meters per second, so we're probably pretty good on speed. But is the parachute going to break when we hit the ground, causing us to fly towards our death? No, it isn't. So let's see if we can land ourselves like this. Perfect. We have landed. No one died. I broke the parachute, but that's not the point. So I guess we're going to end it right here. Oh, no, we're not. We are going to go and switch back to the station. Yeah, and be back at the station ready to go. So that's it for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. My name's Xeriua, and this is the Nocturnal Gaming Network bringing you Spaceflight Simulator. Have yourselves a wonderful night, everybody!